You're listening to the Wicked Theory Podcast.
We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
Broadcasting to you live from Pennywise's Sewer Carnival in the little town of Derry, Maine. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Satan. Now you want to worship your God? There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Hey, how you doing? Sorry. Just for whatever. Why not, right? I'm going to start with apologies for everything and anything going forward. My name is Bill Sweeney, and this is the thing we do. I bring some friends. I bring a little bit of family.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. It's a thing, all right. It's a
who
thing.
we got? We got Jay.
It's a thing.
We got Ed.
I'm 6'3" and maintain a very consistent panda bear shape.
I'm not going to argue any of that. We got Dom Tori.
What up, y'all?
Oh, shit. And we got my brother Bob on guitar, as usual.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Did you hear that?
No.
He's playing it for you.
Are we back in this bitch?
We
Or
are back in this bitch. We are all up in it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a podcast. It's
All right, that's enough.
That's enough.
That's enough.
That's enough.
All right, you're schmaltzy enough. Let's
That's
get this
it.
thing rolling.
So I just be like, yeah, okay. All right. So official
That
business.
sounded like a command to me.
Yeah, he's barking orders now. That's
Whoa,
not
whoa.
cool.
There's something official going on, and we got business.
Mute your tabs, everybody.
mute your tabs, please. Silence your phones now.
Airplane mode.
Airplane mode. Pretend you're at the movies. All right. This is episode 123.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, 4.
1, 2, 3.
Couple, $2-3.
Couple, $2 or $3. I don't know. Is this 3 or 4? I think this is 124.
This is 124.
This is 124. This is the next episode of the Wicked Theory Podcast. We'll just go with that from now on. And we're going to get to some news. We've got some nerd news. There's some events happened in the lands of nerddom.
Yeah, I'm just reading this. This is exciting.
Oh, you're such a bullshit artist. All right, we got some email coming up.
No, seriously, I didn't read any news articles this week because I had another show to do.
So you're going through the doc and you're like, oh, look at this stuff I missed. I got you. And then, chat room game, reviews, all kinds of great stuff. All right, and speaking of emails, when we get to those, if you ever want to send one in, you can send it to podcast@wickedtheory.com because that's cool. Cool kids do that. There's a couple cool kids probably hanging out listening to us right now that do that. Jay, you all right with the whiskey? Or the
It's good.
What is that?
It's working.
Paint thinner? What are you drinking?
It's paint thinner.
Okay. Mineral spirits?
Minerals.
Minerals. That's how I get my vitamins. I drink them.
Remember to pace yourself with that stuff because it can make you go blind. You drink too much at once.
Yeah.
That's an old wife.
Formaldehyde.
You pass out before you go blind. Okay. So just a reminder for people, they can hear Ed on our liner notes. There's a recent episode of that.
Yes.
Oh, hey.
People can hear Jay on Gotham Lights. There's a recent episode of that. I want to shout out to somebody I don't think he listens to too often, but he does every now and then, and he really hooked us up. Our buddy Clint from the Geek Dig podcast actually came through on Patreon recently, and he's helping us out over there. You know, he's the newest person to kind of hook us up with a little bit of love.
Thanks, buddy.
No,
You know?
thank you very much.
Very nice.
Did he go mug?
No, he didn't. He didn't go to the. He didn't go
to
mug.
full coffee mug.
He didn't go full mug. But anybody can if they want to check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/Wicked Theory. Support the show, help us out. You know, a couple bucks goes a long way.
Really?
Even just $1.
Yeah, and you only got to go mug for 1 month to get the mug.
That's not true at all, Bob. Here's a caveat going forward. Bob is not anything Bob says. Just you gotta run it by me. Just double check.
It comes out of your pay.
I believe it's 2 months.
Considering that I don't get paid, that's fine.
Exactly.
I'm not sure exactly how many it says on there, but whatever it says on there, that's the deal.
Okay.
Okay. It's legal, man. Legal department is all over that shit. You know what I mean? But really big thanks to Clint. Clint's got his own nerd show. People should check out the Geek Dig podcast. Just go seek it. Seek and search at the same time. Become Seach. Just there you go.
Much obliged.
And speaking of podcasts, this week we got a thing going on.
Yes.
And it's all new. We're gonna get into it in a little bit.
Yeah.
But the DC podcast, the DCTV
Report.
how's it go?
The DCTV Report.
Podcast showgram.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brought to you by Wicked Theory Studios. You know, Bill, you're our executive producer.
Oh, I'm executively fucking it up right now.
Yes, yours truly, Edward O'Hare, nickname to be determined.
So wait, let's get this straight now. So the DCTV Report, which used to be just a report, is now a podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So no more 5-minute breakdowns. Now it is a full-length, more or less podcast.
Adventure into the multiverse.
Yes, we do recaps, news, commentary, the whole gag, and it's not just me.
Right.
We also have Sara Netzley.
Sara Netzley.
Yes.
Wow. Our friend from Entertainment Weekly.
Yes.
That's right.
EW.com. Freelance writer.
Freelance writer over there.
Yes. And
She writes TV recaps mostly.
Yeah, and I recorded an episode last night, and I was up until 3:30 in the morning editing it. Mostly because I had to spend 2 hours driving to the Javits Center to pick up my sister.
Oh, okay.
busted
Well, what
in
a,
from
what a
Boston.
gentleman you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she wouldn't. But your sister, after seeing you do all that, she wouldn't stay up with you, give you coffee while you edited the show.
Well, I don't drink coffee.
Well, you get the idea, though.
Yeah.
That explains it.
No, it was a one-way street. All right, so we'll get back to that in a little bit because we're actually going to talk to Sarah in a little bit.
Yes.
Okay, very cool.
We're going to reach out to her.
But you just made it clear that one button Bill pushes and there's no more show. So you better watch yourself.
Okay.
Mr. Executive Producer.
That's it.
One button.
What was that?
That's
Ed?
right.
One other quick thing I do want to mention. It has not been released yet because you haven't recorded, but the Gotham Lights episode for the Gotham Season 4 premiere, I will be filling in as the guest host.
That's right.
And yeah, so I think that's probably going to be up sometime Wednesday or Thursday of next week.
Oh, very cool.
I
very
just want to
cool.
let you know I vouched for you on that. So
Thank you.
See that, folks? We're everywhere. Can't get away from us anymore.
so if you go down, I'm going
Taking
down.
right
with you.
now.
We're slowly taking over the podverse.
That's it. You know, we'll just slip in
Yep.
and take and just take control.
Oh, I got this.
Dom, say something.
Hi.
Dom Torrey, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so let's see who's hanging around. Who's in the chat room, actually?
Oh, chat room.
Who we got in the chat room?
We got Wesley, Ryan Gaskins. We got Obi-Ram Kenobi.
Very cool.
New guy. Thanks for sticking around.
Welcome.
Who is
When
that?
have you
I don't know.
before?
I'm just laughing at the name.
That's a great name.
I think
absolutely.
I think that might be someone from Seven Dag. Maybe one of the guys from listeners from Seven Dag that used to pop up once in a while, back in the old Podtoberfest era.
Yeah, and also Zombie John's in there.
Zombie John.
Hey, comes back.
Let's see. You know what? Let's give him a game. Let's give him a game to play. And I'm literally making this up right now as we speak.
We do TV.
We do
too
TV.
much.
Okay, so I'll movie.
Make it a music. Make it a song.
I'll make it a song.
Yeah.
I think we did rock and roll or heavy metal last week.
Make it a band.
Band specifically.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me an adjective, Dominic.
Well, like
That's a word that describes a thing.
My life just flashed before my eyes.
SAT time.
Megadeth, a TV show.
I don't even know what that means.
Like something. Like
No.
you put death
I know
on
what it
you know
means,
what I
but
mean?
it's a limited.
Right, I know. I'm just.
There's only so many Dave Mustaine jokes we can
Symphony of the Waltons.
We're winging this so much this week. I just figure I'll try and help out.
do. Jesus Christ! I should have just not listened to Ed and just said make a TV show a sandwich,
I think we should just go with that.
which is exactly what I'm doing.
TV show a sandwich.
Yeah.
All
yeah,
right,
Yeah.
chat game. Make a TV show.
A sandwich.
Didn't we do
A
that
sandwich.
We've done it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably. I know we've done something a sandwich. It was probably movies a sandwich. TV a sandwich. It was TV a sandwich. Go fuck yourself, Ed. All right. You go fuck yourselves, all of you.
Film a sandwich.
I literally just leaned into the mic to laugh.
Okay.
By the way, Dom and I are sharing a mic tonight, in case you haven't noticed.
In case you haven't noticed. So has anybody got something better then?
I don't know.
No.
No.
Okay. All right. So
Well, this is good. Our first new guy in a while, and we're rehashing
Yeah, but I mean,
It's still new.
he would. Yeah, it's still new for him. He don't come around.
Well, I
whoever
mean,
this guy is.
you laid it down. You made the decision, and you know what? You're the man in charge. So
Well,
we just got to go by
I
what
wasn't
you said.
really
The hammer is falling.
Whatever. I made a decision, but then I pulled it back.
Hammer
and
time.
now it's a decision.
Yeah,
Okay.
this Moneyball idea of yours, it's never gonna work.
It's math. Of course, it's gonna work. Have faith in the numbers, Ed.
You are telling me to have faith in the math.
I've seen Moneyball, a movie about two things starring one guy, none of which I was really big on. But it was a really good movie.
It was a good.
It was a really good movie. They made the math and the sports very understandable for a guy like me.
Let them work for it. Scorsese a sandwich. There you go.
That works. That's better.
Scorsese a
Unless
sandwich.
they're already playing. I don't know what's going on in there.
Yeah.
If they're already in motion, let them go with it.
Yeah.
Though.
Tell Star Trek, Jason Star Trek to hashtag it.
Yeah, too late. It's in there. TV show is sandwich, guys. It's already in there. It's already underway. Sorry, Jay. Scorsese or something.
I was trying to help you out. I
know.
I don't care.
I don't know. I don't care either. I mean, no. Actually, I do care. But how about this? How about we just call Sarah and we get this show back on the track?
All right.
All right. I'm just.
Show's fine.
Show's fine.
Show's fine.
I'm like a doctor over here. He's like, this is good. This is good. You're fine. This is fine. That's dialing music Bob's playing for me. I'm like, where is Sarah's contact right thing? Yeah, there it is. All right, let's call Sarah.
The heavy metal version.
Ooh, it's working.
Ooh.
Jeez, I hope.
Does she know we're calling?
I hope she knows. I hope she's around. Oh, there she is.
Howdy do.
There she is, Sara Netzley, ladies and gentlemen, co-host of the brand new podcast called the DCTV Report.
Surprise.
Hey there, partner.
Well, hey, how's it going?
What's up, Sarah?
We got a full house here, Sarah, tonight. We got Dominic's here, Ed, Jay, Bob, myself.
Yeah, you haven't met me yet, and you're
I
probably
found
better
them.
for it.
Mixler, it sounds like you've got some microphone sharing going on.
Yeah, actually, she's right.
Yeah.
So this is how pro she is.
She can
And
recognize the sounds now.
This is what she's bringing to the DCTV report. Such a pro attitude.
Pro ear, because turns out Ed doesn't have much of an ear. He's explained to me recently. That's some behind the scenes.
No, don't ever let anyone know that.
My ears.
Too late.
He's got to use him on his job.
We did a check kind of a thing, and I was like, do you hear this XYZ? And he's like, no, let me listen. No, I don't hear it. No. I'm like, all right, I guess it's good. But, yeah, so we did mention a little bit, so for anybody who might have missed it, yeah, we made a call. The roster of DC TV shows that were going to infect the DCTV report was going to, why not just spin it off? You know?
Yeah.
Say something, Ed. So,
Yeah, so Sarah and I recorded our first, we did a pilot episode, which I believe is lurking around if you could find it.
Yeah.
But it initially launches tomorrow, and we recorded our first real, heavy recap episode just last night. Covering the Gotham Season 4 premiere.
Ooh.
Let me tell you,
So,
we recapped the crap out of that episode.
Yes, we did.
Well, you only had one show this week to kind of go over, so I can understand that maybe a little bit. But that's going to get kind of crazy. Like, have you guys figured out, what's the max? It's going to, because I know you do your spreadsheets.
Okay,
Ed,
so for the fall, we're going to have Lucifer and Supergirl on Monday, then Flash and Legends on Tuesday, Wednesday's free,
oh, you can relax.
and then Gotham and Arrow on Thursday.
Right. So that's the most it's going to hit at one time?
Until January.
And then it explodes
Yeah.
again?
Then we get Black Lightning, and then somewhere Krypton and Titans are going to be in the mix. We don't know how yet.
So you're looking at a week where you could have potentially 10 or 11 shows at once?
Yeah. Plus, remember, iZombies in there, Preacher.
Bold, brave move.
Wow.
Bold, brave move. So
That sounds like you're going to have a lot to talk about on every episode.
well, it seems like a kind of thing where at least it's going to keep things moving.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like
Yeah. And you know what? I was worried about us not being able to keep up, but Sarah, how many Gotham episodes have you watched in the last 2 weeks?
Listen, this is an answer that makes me sound sort of sad, but like 30 in the last 2 weeks. Because when I agreed to do this show, I take it very seriously, and that's the one show I was behind on, and so I, by God, got caught up on Gotham, except for season 2, because I hear terrible things. So, you know, I treat it like homework. You sit, you stretch, you do some lunges, some knee bends, and then you flop down on the couch, and you just commit yourself to watching television. And that's what a professional does. Thank you.
So,
Very nice.
Sounds like she got the catheter going and everything.
oh my God. So let me ask you, like, has it gotten, because I've sunk pretty
Astronaut
heavy. Like,
diapers. I went for the astronaut diapers.
There you go.
she's got a budget. She's got a budget. But so I want to ask it just like real quick, because I've deep binged on a couple of shows where like just too many episodes in too short a period, where like all of a sudden, like in my waking hours, like it's like in my head too much. Like I'm by default thinking about it. Like have you had that happen with Gotham? Because that's not a good show to walk around with during the day.
I mean, I've been a little disappointed at the absence of colorful villains in my lives. I show up at work, I go to the bank. Nobody tries to rob the bank. There's never any colorful hijinks with complicated gas-emitting weapons. It's actually quite disappointing.
Has this changed your
So
sense
yeah,
of
Gotham's
fashion
coming
at all?
with me for law-abiding life.
Has this changed your sense of fashion at all?
I do wear a lot of black stripes because I really like that Arkham look. So yeah, kind of working that.
I like the inmate style. They got a good style over there.
Well, they changed them up this week.
They really let them express their individuality. I think Arkham seems like a great place to be. Plus, you can bust out just all the time. All the time.
That's funny. So, so what do you guys like? Let's get a little personal, like as far as like faves, really, like on these things. But like, so Sarah, like, what is for you, like, out of all these shows, what's your personal favorite? Like, what's the one that you really kind of like look on a, you know, that you actually really look forward to the most, or seems to be the one that maybe gets you most interested or gets you most vested?
You have rendered me speechless. I'm actually having to think about this. It's kind of tough to answer because I also recap for EW.com. I'm a freelancer for them. So the show they're paying me to recap is often the one that I'm the most excited about because incentive. And last season that was Arrow. This season that's Supergirl. But
Okay.
you know, for me it all kind of started with Arrow. That's the CW grandfather show, and so that's kind of the one that set the tone early on. And I think the shows have gone through different quality levels. I used to say Flash. I really like that kind of bounce and lightness of Flash, but after this past season, I would say it shuffled. So it changes. Oh, gosh, what a way to not answer. I should run for office. You know, you ask a good question. Good question, Mr. Sweeney. I'll give it some due thought.
It's the first time I stumped anybody in my life. I'll tell you that right now. But I don't think so. I think you raise a good point, though, that like all these shows have kind of tended to shift back and forth, where like good season, not so good season, really good season, and they've all kind of shifted around a little bit, where like I could kind of see that for somebody where like, you know what, last year I was in love with the Flash, but like everything else maybe not so much, or vice, you know, that I use Flash as an example for no real example, like, you know what I mean, that could be any show for you, you know what I mean, because they seem to shift around a little bit. But what else, Ed?
No.
What else is going on over on that show? What are you guys doing? Are you doing anything else? Are you just going to recap all the time? Ed, there must be something else.
We go over,
Come on, man, tell us.
We go over plenty of news, everything that's happening. I mean, we may have only recapped Gotham last night, but this episode we have news on Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, Preacher, and
Preacher news?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's one little bit
Don't
of Preacher.
spoil it. No, don't spoil it.
No spoilers.
I want to have a reason to listen.
Yeah, and maybe even a show that I haven't mentioned yet that we're going to talk about later in our episode.
Doesn't Wicked Theory already produce a Preacher show? Isn't this like a conflict of interest?
There's a little bit of a thing. Well,
Well, legal never picks up the phone. So.
Well, that's the problem. I mean, we shouldn't call it a legal department as much as it's an office. We just haven't put anybody in there. I think technically, yeah, we have to get human resources going first.
Which doesn't exist.
Yeah, because
So
we're
that's
like
great.
humans.
Well,
They had Verizon in there. They put the phones in so you can call. There's nobody there to answer.
Right. The lines are open. Operators.
Well, I think there's a big difference between the way we work on Preacher.
Absolutely.
Because I haven't read the books,
right.
So I'm watching it fresh.
Yes.
Whereas you guys are really focusing a lot more on how it relates to the
Mm-hmm,
books, and both of us like that show.
Right. Touche. And for a guy who's never heard the podcast, he's goofing on.
You can't be in this apartment without knowing all of your feelings on that show.
And as a segue, we're going to start charging you rent.
You have been here a lot lately. No.
Seriously, last time you were here, I was actually going to sneak behind you with a pillow and put it behind your head.
Does that imply he was going to shoot you?
No.
No, okay. Maybe I've seen too many
I said behind his head, not
behind my head.
Not in front.
Behind my head.
Okay.
You know.
I've seen too many gangster movies, I guess.
No. You never see when someone falls asleep on a friend's house and they throw the blanket over him on the couch.
I'd rather play drunk.
Bob's just being a good host.
He's playing drunk Jenga with you.
I thought the same thing you did, Bill. That's just the Newark in me.
Yeah, right. It's city boy stuff. Yeah. I thought maybe he was gonna play drunk Jenga, which is always fun. Look that up, kids. So how did you feel about Sarah? I'm gonna give you first. How did you feel about the Gotham series return? Like in a nutshell, did you like what you saw? I mean, there was a couple of things there. I watched it. I'm always hypercritical, but what'd you think?
Well, I want to answer without giving away the kernel of our argument on the podcast we did at night.
Fair enough.
But I was pleased with it. It's the first one that I watched live, so that was kind of fun because I did get all caught up, and I was definitely in a Gotham state of mind, which is like New York state of mind, but punchier.
I think we figured out the next parody song we have to do.
I'm in a Gotham state of mind. Ooh yeah.
But yeah, since I rolled straight into that from all of season 3. I really enjoyed it. I was primed to enjoy it, and I think they set up a lot of interesting storylines for this season that I hope they'll run with a little bit. I'd hate to see some of those plot threads that they introduce just sort of fizzle away after an episode or two. I think that this is some good, at least partial season long villain work and some good character development potential. So it was fun. It had some deeper elements as well. Alfred's back. The end. I'm pleased.
Alfred back. Yeah. Well, look, I don't want to.
And I think Ed felt the same. I think we.
Yeah. I counted. I was counting before. We have 5 major plot threads, 4 of which are going to continue on through the rest of the season, and we got to meet Steve Buscemi's brother, which we were joking about until we realized halfway through recording our episode that he was actually Steve Buscemi's brother.
What's so funny is that I went with the same joke too. The guy looked close enough to him, but not really, where it was like, okay, he's just got this kind of scraggly kind of look that reminds me of him, but it couldn't I didn't really think he looked that much like him. Where it's like, oh, he's a dead ringer for him, or that's got to be his brother, or it's got to be. I was like goofing. I was like, but it turns out you guys were heading with the same way. So it's like, yeah, we were all picking up on it. Like maybe it was mannerisms too, or something, maybe. But yeah, it was a funny little moment where it's like Ed told me that before this show. I was like, no, they're like, you're fucking with me because we were all Anyway, so with that, I don't know what else. How else can we entice people to listen, Ed? I mean, like, could we tell them like?
You can leave that to me.
Well, I think they'll.
Okay, Jay.
You're gonna.
Uncle Jay's gonna go to the house.
Okay, Jay. Tell people why they should watch my show, mine and Sarah's show.
Or just listen to it.
Yeah.
They
should listen to our show.
Because I'll smack them in the fucking head then if they don't listen.
That's a very Jay and Silent Bob way to
It's a lot of work, Jay. It's a lot of work.
That's because I love you, Ed. I want to see you do good. So
that seems like a lot of homework.
Yeah,
you know what? Let's go this route. Let's tell
second
them,
nature.
If they ever wondered what something that sounded like a professional, like a mature kind of like 2 responsible adults kind of a show from this group somehow, like you know what I mean? Like this is what it would sound like over here. We'll go with that. And I think another way we might get them a little bit is like if you're up late tonight, episodes are actually going to drop at midnight Eastern Standard Time for New York on Saturday. So Sunday, Sunday morning, 12 a.m. So if anybody's up tonight and wants to, have a stay up late party to listen to the DCTV report.
My West Coast friends, that's early for you. I mean, if we're talking midnight Eastern, you're not thinking about bed. You're still up and around. There's no excuse for my Pacific time friends to not be downloading that tonight.
Fair enough. Bob distracted me with the guitar, so
I was playing Living After Midnight.
No, I caught the reference as soon as I heard the midnight, but it's Kiss, so
it's Judas Priest.
It's Judas Priest, Bill.
It's the same band.
No, it's not.
No, I'm sorry. So with that, I don't know. Episodes are going to drop on Sundays. You know what I mean? So this week, people are going to get twofer. This twofer. You know, we're going to hit them hard. Two. That's not two sounds. That was three. But, check it out.
And be sure to tweet at us at DCTV Report.
Yeah, follow the Twitter account.
Yeah, follow the Twitter account.
Follow Sara at Sara Netzley. SaraNetzley. Mm-hmm. You don't have to follow Ed because if you're listening to this, I'm sure you're already following Ed, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm talking to the listener, right? Okay, that's what I thought.
I don't know. When we asked the new guy.
Yeah.
Ed, all joking aside, I wish you the best. This is cool.
Yeah, awesome. Obi-Wan Shinobi in the chat room or whoever that was.
Obi-Ram
Kenobi.
Obi-Ram Kenobi. Yeah. This is maybe you're into some DC TV shows. This is gonna cover them all. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and also I made sure to put time codes in the description, so I would listen to our whole episode.
Of course,
but
you would.
But if you only listen to 2 or 3 shows and you just want to hear it, you could jump straight to the time codes.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at it like this too. It might be a thing where you don't watch all of them. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of shows, you know what I mean? Or maybe you miss one show and it's like, let me skip over Lucifer. I'll jump to Arrow.
Yes.
Per se.
Right, but maybe they listen to their shows, the talks about their shows, and they stay for the rest of the banter.
Exactly.
That's it. I liked the banter.
And as I think about it, I think the biggest selling point is Ed and I both have strong opinions about facial hair on these shows that we are going to be expressing and trying to get hashtags started for. So if you have strong thoughts about superhero facial hair, tune in. You have found your people.
I do remember there being some mustache talk.
Yeah, we want Jim Gordon to hashtag grow the stash.
Let's make it a thing.
Yeah, and
let's make it a thing.
We want Oliver to hashtag grow the pointy goatee. Or at least I do.
So
that one's less catchy. We need to work on that one.
But what about for Jim? To call it the Jim stash? Hashtag make it. Give us the Jim stash. Yeah.
But that's the 70s porn star stash.
No, it's like thicker than that because it takes up his whole upper lip.
They're gonna have to cut like a horse mane and just trim it to size, you know what I mean, or something. Because it's very Wilford Brimley. It's like a push broom.
It's like the waxed mustache without the wax.
Yeah, without the curlies on the side, just kind of straight down.
Just kind of explodes.
Could be cardboard. I don't know, but
I would watch a superhero facial hair.
I think that is a thing. I mean, who knows if he can even grow a mustache that's even coming close to that legendary status. But if they ever flash forward, I'm telling you right, fuck no. It better be on there. If they're gonna do that stupid crap with on The Walking Dead with that wacky beard. All right, so folks, ladies and gentlemen, Wicked Theory Podcast, and especially myself and everybody here, we're really proud of this, and we want to wish Ed and Sara all the best of luck and nothing but success with this. And we're really going to we hope that a lot of the listeners that we have over here gave you guys a kind of a shot, and at least to help a push, you know what I mean, and some retweets and some show some love, help us blow this thing up.
Most definitely, man. I'm proud of you guys.
And Sara, really couldn't be more pleased that you're on the team, for lack of a better term. I mean, for the team. I don't know what else we would call this assemblage of miscreants.
I think actually the assemblage of miscreants works really well.
Well, welcome to the AOM.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying for a while this place could use a woman's touch.
Well, that's true. She's already cleaned you up and moved you out.
I don't know. This is maybe more cleaning and beautifying and potpourri infusing than I am personally capable of, but I will do my best.
Yeah, we definitely need that. Potpourri, that's a good word.
A little Febreze goes a long way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you only have the small car canister.
Yeah. And I used it all up. I used it all up right away.
We just keep the canister here for decoration.
Well, I'm not saying work miracles here, but maybe just ask Bill to sell the cigarette butt sculpture.
Well, see now, if that's the thing. That's what I should be doing with them. If they're going to be sitting there, I might as well make some art or take pictures of them or something.
You want to explain quickly what that is?
No, I think it's self-explanatory. They pile up.
What's your
What do you want me to do?
adhesive material?
Time. Just time. Just time.
Oh, it's
The nature of science itself.
Oh, you've got to see this thing. It's a constant work in progress.
Yeah, it's kind of gross if you ask me.
A little time lapse would be interesting on it. You know, put a little time lapse thing on it and just see how it shifts slowly over time.
Like the Grand Canyon.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, except with cigarette butts.
Yeah. And it's becoming more of a catastrophe every day.
As someone who's got to put his face within inches of that thing if the Wi-Fi goes out.
Good times, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Enough about my fucking bullshit, all right? I got nothing on any of you, so it's not fair. Just saying. Sarah, this is your fault. I'm blaming you. I don't know why, but I'm holding you responsible now.
I apologize. I'm so sorry for
Don't
everything.
apologize to him.
You couldn't see her face, all right? She didn't mean any of that. You could probably hear it now that I said that, right? All right, so Sara Netzley, we love you, and we want to thank you for joining the team, for hanging out, and keeping an eye on Ed over there, okay? Make sure he doesn't get out of control, and it's just
on
you
a
and
tight
him.
leash.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
no.
don't be afraid to give him a poke in the chops once in a while too.
And
tell him Uncle Jay sent
light
you.
claps. As needed, absolutely.
say that like, all right. So with that, you'll actually be able to hear Sarah on this show, right? As opposed to like when we have her on here and we constantly interrupt her and talk over her and like we make it difficult for people.
Oh yeah, no. There's definitely. It's even. I know because I edit and I see the waveforms.
There you go. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, please check out the DCTV Report every Sunday. New episodes every week. And Sarah, really couldn't be more happy and pleased at this. And thanks for hanging out with us for a little while.
Super mutual. Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to hearing everybody feedback and getting to know everybody.
You can send emails. Wish them luck. Wish them well at
DCTV@wickedtheory.com.
There you go, folks. Let them know. Let them know you're listening. Sarah, we'll talk to you
All
soon.
right, sayonara, guys.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Oh, Sarah.
I'll be retweeting. Don't worry, Ed.
Don't worry, Ed. Jay's got it in the bag.
I wasn't worried actually.
I got this cough, man. I don't know why.
Oh, you're just figuring that out now?
Yeah, it's new. It's new. It's totally new. All right, so
We're going to edit a collage of our coughs.
Oh, could you imagine? Oh, what a
We can have
tragedy.
Wesley do that as a side project.
Oh, that poor kid. I wouldn't. He's too creative and crafty. I wouldn't give him that to do. We'd find something else.
That
to do.
idea was creative and
I
crafty.
want you to make a paper mache of Jay's face.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So
I got to go tea now. So.
let's do some news. How about that? All right.
All right.
Big thanks to Sara Netzley for hanging out with us today.
Yay, Sarah.
I really appreciate it.
News o'clock.
All right. So I did a little tease earlier
Free bird.
about a DCTV show that I hadn't mentioned yet, and so this week.
I can stop clapping.
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
No, I didn't say you could.
Yeah.
I played.
You spelled sandwich wrong in the dock.
I was one. You asked. No, I'm kidding.
I spelled a lot of stuff wrong in the doc.
Yeah, but you worked in a deli.
I was abbreviating. I hope.
So this week,
That Dudley wasn't in a college.
HBO announced.
I would never write sandwich. Why would I write sandwich? If I was working the deli, I write roll, hero, or bagel.
Okay.
Anyway.
that it had officially greenlit a pilot order for Damon Lindelof's Watchman miniseries.
But we covered that a couple weeks ago, but now it's greenlit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he even tweeted out a little picture from the writer's room, kind of like a little thing.
Dom, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean,
Awfully quiet over there, Dom.
I'm not like beholden to the Watchmen movies or like the movie or the comics. So, sure, I'll watch it.
You'll
It'll
give it a
probably
go.
be dope as fuck. So, I trust Lindelof. I trust HBO.
Yeah, that's
You know.
kind of how I have to kind of roll with this because it's like I can't stop it.
If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like the other one was just so soon in a way where it's like, I don't know.
This is their way of getting in on the whole superhero thing, but still kind of trying to maintain that HBO level of cool and quality and
Yeah, I'm sure for them it was like
snobbery or whatever.
I'm sure for them it was like, well, if we were ever gonna do a comic book thing, what's at our level? Like, what's at HBO? Kind of like what's worth our time to try and pull in? Like, what's the best of the best? Like, we're,
Well,
kind
there's
of
a
thing.
lot of information in that.
It would be
graphic.
this, or it would be Kingman. Was it Kingman?
Kingsman.
Kingsman.
Oh, Kingsman.
Kingsman.
There's a lot of information in that
But
graphic novel
Yeah.
that you would need something like an HBO series to tackle it. However, I did like that movie a lot. So, I mean, I don't know.
Well, there's a lot that movie has to leave on the floor. There's all this extra. There's a lot of extra content.
Which is what I mean, which brings
Yeah.
me back to my point. So, I don't know. I mean, I'll definitely tune in. I'll
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
watch it. But I did like that. I just watched rewatched the movie recently.
Okay.
And I think it holds up. I think it's a pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that old anyway.
It's 7 years old, I think.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like, I could do without it in a sense. If you told me it fell apart, I'd have no problem with it. It's not like I'm ramping up my hopes. I'm not such a Watchman, and I don't think anybody really is. Like, it's like, hey, it's a benchmark. It's a big deal for comics, but it's not like, oh, I need more Watchmen. Like,
Well, it's funny because I feel like the love for that graphic novel has actually gone down since the movie came out, which is weird. Because, I mean, that was lauded as, like, the greatest literary contribution
to comics,
to
like
the
besides-
medium
since
ever.
the panel. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Since the panel was invented.
I think there's
Since the invention of the word balloon. Since the invention of the onomatopoeia.
Thank you.
Thank you, welcome.
There's a lot to do there. I'm interested to see how much of the before Watchmen comics they integrate. Which,
Oh, yeah.
Which
That'll be interesting. That's
Yeah.
that's an interesting question because they've since DC's put out all this other
Yeah.
newer content that's not Alan Moore
Yeah.
related.
and because it's Lindelof, who's
Who knows?
yeah, who's very ambitious
Yeah.
and is known for sometimes reaching much farther than he can truly grasp.
Yeah, he's a little bit of an outside. He tries to go outside the box sometimes. I think a little bit.
Yeah.
And,
And sometimes it works out great, and sometimes it's questionable. But I mean, if there's anyone to put on this project, I think he's a great choice.
I think it's
The key is going to be how they do the pirate stuff.
if and how.
Well, no, they're gonna have. I mean, if this is the kind of thing, if you're doing a long form Watchmen, if you're trying to do that, you've got to integrate it somehow. But the trick is, half the people who read that book don't understand what's going on in the pirate story.
Half the people stop reading that. Like I gave
Yeah.
it a shot at a certain point, but
Well, that's
it's like. I know, but it's all analogy. It's all metaphor for what's going
Yeah.
on in the other thing. I get it, but
yeah. Well, that was the joke I made on the show. I said
Yeah.
every time the first time you read it, you don't really read the pirate stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Sarah said, "I read the pirate stuff. Did I make a mistake?"
That's funny. All right, so we'll move on to speaking of questionable things, but Akira has popped up again, and now there's talk that what's his name?
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
Sorry, Bill.
Who's no. I feel like there's a gnat floating around.
There is.
There was.
I
right?
watch them fly.
You watch them
land
all-
on your forehead.
Nice. You don't want to pay around either. No. This is the director of Thor Ragnarok. And Akira, for those who don't know, is this '90s anime. It's like one of the best. And
80s, late 80s.
fair enough. All this kind of stuff. So yeah. Still, again, like I feel like just one of these things where it's like you're gonna muck it up. I think. Like
This is live action.
yeah, they're going live action, and it's like
It's tough.
it's tough. I really feel like you need to just have a Japanese director, Japanese cast, shoot it in Japan, just because I feel like that's what the material is. I feel like once it's so steeped into its culture and stuff like that,
Yeah.
like you're gonna have some white guy named Akira. You know what I mean?
I mean,
some white blonde guy, or hey, who knows? Maybe it's just they'll do that. Maybe they'll do a fully Asian cast and lock it into kind of the look and everything like that. But look how they fucked up Ghost in the Shell, which was a thing where it was like,
Yeah, I was almost convinced when Ghost in the Shell came out that would kill Akira.
Yeah.
But it's funny, like I always think of Akira the same way I think of the Crow remake, where it's like this movie has been bandied about for 25 years.
Yeah.
Like they've been trying to make this movie and trying to figure it out. And this is just the next guy in line who's going to fail. And it's the kind of thing I will believe it when I see it. And it probably will not have been worth the wait.
Yeah, probably. If it does happen, which I get the feeling that right now, because he's hot as a director, he's probably just having meetings. Like, it's like, oh, what's your dream projects? What would you like to do if you came to the studio? It's like, well, you guys have Akira, right? And it's like, yeah, maybe that, something like that. Oh, yeah? And that's all it takes to start the rumor mill. And more interesting stuff that's not quite rumor, but it is kind of interesting, is this Terminator stuff's coming back. Have you heard about this movie, Terminator? Had a sequel.
The Terminator?
And then had some more sequels.
Yeah.
We spoke about this too last week, right?
And then, tried to make a sequel that kind of reworked the original.
Well,
and now we're going to go throw it all away.
Well, last week we spoke about Tim Miller has been hired and it's official.
Yeah.
And it's been greenlit. And now it looks like they're ignoring, thankfully, Genesis, but they're also ignoring Rise of the Machines. Everything after 2 is being ignored, which is a good thing.
Right.
Yeah. Which is funny because the last 3 movies have each been meant to start trilogies, and we got a trilogy of movies that ignored previous continuity.
right.
Which are now going to be ignored.
Yeah. Like I said, I do like things about 3 and Salvation.
Sure.
And Genesis was a fucking abortion and a half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think that this is the right move, and Schwarzenegger and Hamilton are officially on board.
They're officially on board. They're coming back.
The other thing. Linda Hamilton is coming back, which I'm excited about. I haven't seen. What has she been doing the last few years?
Laundry. Like, stuff around the house.
Convention signings.
Hanging out.
Because I met her.
Collecting residuals from the mailbox. But
wait, now be honest, Jay. When you met her, did you have her sign something from the Terminator, or did you have her sign your Beauty and the Beast season 2 box set?
I had both of them signed.
As a matter of fact, I had and every disc in the box set at that. Okay.
You know what I mean?
She was cool.
No, my Mr. Destiny laser disc that she did with James Belushi. That's what I had her sign.
Wow, there you go.
How about or Dante's Peak?
All right.
If you want to go that
now
way.
you're showing off. Now you're showing off on your Linda Hamilton knowledge.
No, I had a Laserdisc box set of T2, and she signed. It was really, really fun.
The best of Linda Hamilton?
It's the best of Linda Hamilton.
It's got one movie in it?
Exactly. What was my edit? That I burned onto Laserdisc and had a sign.
It was only like a 35-second scene on a loop, but, it was hot. Yeah. All right, so that's good news in the sense that at least if they're going forward, Cameron is directly involved, and they're kind of ignoring all the stuff that people have found questionable.
Good. This is all good news.
It's all good news. It is. A little bit of talk that maybe Defenders might have ended up as the least watched of the Marvel Netflix shows. This is coming out of
despite good reviews.
One of these companies that supposedly has a metrics, even though Netflix doesn't release its ratings. They have their own little metrics way of kind of trying to figure it out. And
I haven't watched it.
I think for a lot of people, I think the thing is that and it's a fair speculation, is like coming out of Iron Fist, like since so many people were dejected about that, like it might have lost some of the buzz, or the built up momentum might have got fizzled out. But
do you think that maybe they want to watch all the other shows first, and there's a lot of people that haven't done that yet?
That's quite possible.
Because I know that the reason why I didn't jump into it yet because I haven't finished Luke Cage.
Yeah. It might be. It might be for a lot of people that they kind of feel like, oh, I guess I got to watch all this other stuff in order to follow. And it's like, yeah, you don't really have to.
Do they mention things in those shows in Defenders that I would need to see? Or
you want me to tell you something? You know what?
Well, they mention things in passing, but they're not really like they tie into what's going on with this story. You don't really have to know what happened prior that is even connected to this story, because it's been so far removed in time-wise from the stories that were originally told in the other, like in Daredevil.
Right.
The whole part of Daredevil with the hole. If you don't know about it, it don't matter.
Yeah, I would say there's one bit from the end of season 2 of Daredevil that you would need to know going into it.
But they cover it. But also too, they
like that. But like they explain that. But that's the one revelation of of a character who's
that's fair enough.
Dead. Who I think you would be surprised to find out is dead when you started watching it.
Well, I've seen Daredevil 1 and 2, and I've seen Jessica Jones.
I would say for the most part, though, Bob's right. It's like this thing where, like, how they're all tangentially connected?
Yeah.
Loosely? Well, this is loosely connected backwards. Like, you really don't need to have seen that stuff very much of, or be too concerned with it. The show will tell you anything you really kind of need to know, and if you're above a 4th grade reading level.
Yeah, it'll be like, Didn't we cover that back then?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, but don't worry about it.
But it's also my OCD too. I want to watch these shows too.
No, and I get that too. Like for me too, I'd probably be like, no. Like I finally got Netflix. I want to watch them. I'm a nerd.
Right,
I want to watch them linear.
That's where I'm
at. So moving on. I forget what this article was about because I put it in days ago.
So Peyton Reed.
Yeah.
The director of Ant-Man and the upcoming Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He called out. He's calling out his employers.
Oh.
And he did a public outcry via Twitter for Lucasfilm to release a Blu-ray of the original. Quote. Please release a Blu-ray of the original unmessed with version of Star Wars I loved when I was 13.
Very cool. Thought that was a interesting thing. No?
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Because it's probably in the contract that he signed with Disney that
Lucas?
he can't have that. Lucas, yeah.
Well, we don't know that for a fact.
I'm pretty sure it's true, though.
Yeah.
It feels like it's something that could be in there.
Because they would have done it already, Ed. I'm telling you right now, it would have been already out there.
You know what, though? They could be...
so much money for that.
Yeah.
I mean, God, they would put it out as like a special edition $150 DVD set.
And people will shell out the cash for that.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're holding off, though. Like, if they know that. Like, they have to know that, right? That's a cash in a box sitting there. So do you think there could have been, like, a conversation about it where someone might have said something like, well, what strategically is the best place and time for us to release this? Is it right now, or is it to wait maybe till the new trilogy is done, so we get we put the originals in with the mass box set that's all 9 movies, and that's a selling point on that set because that's the only place now maybe to get those. Because also too, if Blu-ray is a dying medium, kind of in a way, sooner or later, that's going to be like their last gasp in a way to kind of cash in on the. Or something. I don't know. I'm just kind of theorizing on why they would be holding it back because it seems like something they would know.
But to my defense, George Lucas has come out and said that he doesn't want these.
Oh, no.
Out, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't hold it against, anybody to just say he probably, in his clause, in his contract.
No. And I got that too. And I'm saying other than that, which I agree with you, could very well be a thing. Other than that, what, you know what I mean? I can't imagine any other reason. I can't imagine any other reason.
Yeah. I'm sure, though, if they came up with something and they sent the copy to George, and then they were like, listen, George, just imagine, $100, $250 thing.
No,
you're going to get 90% of it. We want $10.
This is not.
They make a deal to make him happy. I got what you're saying.
The other thing is, this whole story is proven it is not about the money.
Yeah, that's true. So he's dirty, stinking rich. It's kind of hard to kind of woo him with more cash, you think?
Yeah, it is. I mean, if this was about the money, he would have released them.
That's true.
There we go. This is not.
He's not hurting for a mortgage payment, is what you're saying. I got you.
He's trying to hide his mistakes.
I think
it's like Jerry Lewis and having the Nazi clown movie.
Yeah,
right?
the day the clown cried.
I got you.
Yeah, I mean, this is a situation. And,
it's about pride.
I'm going to be ostracized for saying this, but this is a situation where George Lucas needs to do the honorable thing.
Yeah.
That Gene Roddenberry died in the early 90s, which is get sick and die.
Right back.
So that this can flourish.
Music.
Right back to Star Trek.
That's a horrible thing to say. No, I don't hate it.
I don't. We miss you, George. He's not dead yet.
Just go get the despecialized editions, which are good, and I own.
So. Nice. You were telling me, yeah. There's versions out there where it's
Hardy,
Harmy.
Harmy. Yeah.
Harmy.
Harmy Films. He's a Swedish guy. He was a diehard fan, and he got some elements and assembled the original cuts on Blu-ray. And if anybody's got like $70, go on eBay, grab them. It's well worth the cash.
There you go.
I would like to say.
I heard about that.
I would like to say that for the record, I do not believe that Gene Roddenberry tried to destroy Star Trek.
Okay.
I believe it was actually his lawyer.
We know you would never say
Nigel Barrett
anything.
had nothing to do with it.
No, it was this kooky lawyer. If like fans who listen to all the podcasts about Star Trek will know what I'm talking about. Go see the documentary Chaos on the Bridge that Shatner did about the early Next Gen seasons.
Get off my bridge.
Okay. All right. I don't have a sound clip for this. We should probably make one because we've been doing the chat game for like how long, right? I'll just play this. I know none of you know it, but I like it. So it's let's go check out the chat game. It's a little strong bed for you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, isn't that strong bad?
Yeah, this is our technical difficulties music.
Down.
The system is down.
Read the chats for everybody.
Hey, let's get down to it. No. He's too far away. He can't see it. He doesn't have his glasses with him.
He's not interested.
He's not interested. He's gonna pass. He likes how you do it.
All right, so
It's beneath his pay grade.
The hashtag was TV show a sandwich.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. We've never done that one before.
Yeah, that's what we decided on. So, which includes Deep Space 9-foot sub.
Hey.
Attack of the Bacon, Lettuce, and Killer Tomatoes on Rye.
Ooh, the rye might have done a little much.
Dagwood. I don't get that.
I think
because the Dagwood is a sandwich.
Oh, is it?
As well
it was
as
also a
cartoon.
restaurant. Yeah, it was a restaurant. Too.
So they're just by just dropping the straight name in there.
Oh, okay.
It's there's a wit level to that.
Land of the Lost Monte Cristo.
Oh.
The 700 Club sandwich.
Okay.
It's good.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. The 700 Club sandwich. That's.
This sandwich tastes like Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't think of anything.
The skinny French dip.
Hey.
Hoagie's Heroes.
Nah, there you go. That's a good one.
Batmanwich, the animated series.
Okay. Messy.
Super sloppy Joe Double Dare.
Okay.
The $1 Million Manwich. Rick and Meatball.
The $6 Million Manwich is what that's supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's what should be, right?
Yeah.
No editing.
BLT Big Limburger Theory. Mobsters, the Caprese Salad Family. The Young PPJ and the Temple of Doom. Peter, I don't know.
What was it?
PPJ. The Young PPJ.
Peanut butter and jelly? But
No,
just,
PPJ.
Maybe it's just an extra P. Maybe they stuttered on the key.
Mr. Rubin.
Mr. Rubin.
Battle Jello Galactica. The Greatest American Cheese Sandwich. Mighty Morphin Pastrami Rangers. Cheese Hero Sandwich. Kentucky Hot Murphy Brown.
Kentucky Hot?
America's Got Toast. Breaking Barbecue. Falafel Crest.
Falafel Crest.
Miami Pastrami Vice. Judge Juicy Lucy.
Okay.
Ramington Steak Sandwich. I think that's
Remington Steel.
Mm-hmm.
Buffy the Muffaletta Slayer.
What?
Buffy the Buffaletta Slayer.
I don't know what that is.
Pokemanwich. N Cheese Rye S. Meatballers Club. Vegemite Morphin Power Rangers. Manwich in the Middle. BLTJ Hooker.
It's good.
Great American Gyro.
Nice.
Kebabalon 5. Oh, Kebabalon 5.
Kebab. I got
Kebab. And Cuban Survivor.
Just Cuban. That can go either way.
It's a Cuban sandwich.
Or
sandwich.
it's Survivor in Cuba. That's all. I like it. I think
Or you're surviving a Cuban sandwich.
it's got a lot of layers to this one. Just like a real Cuban sandwich.
Go deeper.
Get all up in it.
Get in there.
Get in.
Get in there.
Get her done. All right. Let me double check the double check. It's time for some meanwhile.
Meanwhile,
Woo. Kids, I know I'm gonna kick it off.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna kick it off.
I'm
gonna kick dance. Jay and Ed both reviewed it last week.
Yes, we did.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks. Was it 2 weeks ago?
Was 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago.
Because we did Mother.
Mother, right. Last week was all about Mother. What's up with this movie? I don't get it. Mother.
We did Mother, yeah.
With an exclamation point.
Yeah.
Mother.
Like the dancing
Well,
song.
this week I went and I saw it. It was good.
It's good.
I liked it. All right, me and Dom.
Hey, Jay, ask me what that movie's about.
What, Mother?
Yeah,
What's it
ask
about?
me what that movie's about.
Well, half the movie's about a woman that just wants to get laid.
Yeah, that was what I said. No,
And the other half is a woman that wants to be left alone. That was your.
Yeah, that was.
He's not letting you have it, Ed.
No.
Well,
Bill, ask me what that movie's about.
Ed, what is this? What's this movie about?
It's about a mother.
It's about a mother. You gotta put a V in there.
With a mother.
Mother. So me and Dom.
Sorry, man.
I need sleep.
All right, I'm good one more time. Me and Dom went and saw it this week. So just
with your mother.
With my mother.
With your mother.
But me and we probably should have brought our mother.
But our mother, yeah, our mother.
Should have went. Our mother actually should go see this because she's a huge Stephen King fan, which is where we get it from. But.
Right.
Bro, man, this movie was good, man.
I told you.
Yeah.
Fucking real good. And I haven't kind of gotten like spooked out or creeped out like at a horror movie in like ages. And I'm not saying like I was nonstop scared, but it did give me some creeps, some creepy jeebies or something like that. Definitely some jumps.
There were jumps.
Definitely a couple of really good jumps.
It was good. It had good humor.
Yeah.
It felt like Stranger Things a little bit.
It felt like, it reminded me of like Stand By Me, where it's just like it's a group of kids and like much like Stranger Things too, but it's like instead of
they do the whole train tracks thing too.
Yeah, they do. If you got a group of kids, you got to have a train track scene.
Yep.
But yeah, it just reminds me of just what a great kind of like time we are in right now, where like. We're getting these kinds of movies again where it's like, this is like, everybody's like, oh, make the Goonies. Don't remake the Goonies. Just do this kind of stuff like Stranger Things or this here. Where it's like, you use some real kids that act like real kids playing like I'm 11. I'm going to play 11. Like, right. It's not like, because every horror movie is some 21-year-old chick,
right,
like, who nobody knows, but she was on a show. Okay, whatever. But, so it's like, it's a great switch up to actually see some kids again, like, and well acted.
Right.
Yeah. Kids being kids.
Kids just being kids. Right. Just fighting monsters.
The use and them cursing too left and right was great.
Maybe it's been the biggest fear the whole time has been the kids.
Yeah.
And to do this from a kid's perspective. It's a horror movie after
the intensity.
All.
Right.
I gotta stop playing with the bell. Get that away from me.
See, now it's not just...
No, yeah, I want to fidget with it.
Very complimentary to the source material, too.
Very complimentary to the source material. Not that I've read it, but, like, you can feel it in there where it lands better than the original.
Setting up a sequel, too.
Yeah, I mean, it totally sticks to that, whereas the book went back and forth. Like, they just kind of split this down the middle, as far as present day.
It's the smartest way to do this.
Yeah.
It should have been done that way from the very beginning.
Yeah, the other movie, the TV movie, probably should have went that way too.
Yeah.
But it does open the door, like, now it'll be. If this movie wasn't like, I wonder what the cast lineup is going to be when they start announcing that. Like, are they going to go?
No, it won't be John Ritter. He's dead.
Fair enough, Bob. Good call. And everybody who was in the original, besides him, their careers are dead.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Except maybe Tim Reed.
I think he's back to being career dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might have had something. But I think he's back to being career dead.
He was somebody's dad on a show.
Yeah, I thought he was like trying to be like the poor man's Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Well, the kid with the asthma, that character, in the TV series, it was Dennis Christopher, and he was resurrected by Tarantino in Django.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go. There's a
was
little.
It called Me and Wheezy?
Wheezy.
But that the little kid who plays Georgie.
Right. He was cute.
Yeah. He's going to be in Lock and Key. He plays the youngest kid in Lock and Key.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
So
great one.
I can't wait to see him again. So I'm giving it a full. I'm giving it a full cash. Maybe even some stash.
Yeah,
if that's what you like it. You know, I'd like to see some extras, so some behind the scenes stuff on that. I wouldn't mind having a DVD and stuff of that sitting on the shelf.
And you still got 600 more pages of book to go, though.
Jesus.
Yeah, because that's the first 380 pages. Is that
how they break that down?
Is for the kids, and then the rest is.
He splits that down the middle in the book. I thought it went back and forth like chapter by chapter.
If I recall, they go back a little bit.
Okay.
You know, here and there,
right,
but
right,
I think for the most part,
it's a hard line break.
Yeah,
because all the coverage I've been saying is that it's intertwined.
Well, who knows? Because
the last time I read it was in 1987.
You're gonna make me read this book now?
Yeah. Ed, read something.
If you haven't read the book, you should.
Read a book.
You're in the wrong room. I've not read that book.
If they wanted me to read the book, they wouldn't have made the movie.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, they do go back, and when they do flashback and shit like that, for the most part, it's.
I hear you.
The first 400 pages, I believe.
But
I could be wrong. It's been like 30 years since I read it.
Maybe it was. The kids' part originally gets told as flashback in the book.
No, it opens up just as the movie does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
But it's in 57, I think, in the book. And here they modernized it.
Yeah, they push it up to the 80s. All right, so moving on.
Jay.
Yeah.
You got a meanwhile?
Do I got a meanwhile?
Well, you're next up. You're next up on the dock.
Ed and I both have a meanwhile. I'll let Ed go first. I've been going
you guys
first.
are sharing this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You guys have the same movie. Gotcha.
Yeah. We both went to the movies this weekend. I saw Kingsman.
So did I.
The Golden Circle.
Right.
Yes, which is the sequel to the popular Kingsman: The Secret Service.
Which I really liked a lot.
Yes.
I'm already sensing a theme with Jay.
Okay.
No, it was a good flick.
I really enjoyed this. A lot of people. This is going to get mixed. It's been getting mixed reviews.
Yeah.
This is a movie that you're either going to get and think it's hysterical and incredible, or you're not going to get it, and you're going to think this is rubbish. And
right.
what the hell is going on here? And I'm in the I love this side. I will say I don't want to spoil this, but it's a lot of fun. All I will say is Elton John is in this movie.
I think that's all you need to say.
Yeah. Well, no. What I will say is if you're with the Elton John storyline, you get this movie. And if you don't get the Elton John stuff, I can't help you. Cash.
And it's a scene-stealing Elton John,
yes.
Actually. No, it's good. It's it's a grittier James Bond-esque
right.
kind of a thing, and that's what I really liked about the first one. I don't know if you saw the first one or not.
No, I saw a lot of it, and I know the tone and everything, so I'm wondering if are they going harder for the funny? Is that what might be setting people?
No, it's got the same.
Away?
It's got the same level of humor as the first one did. I think they go a little bit more with the funny, but it's done well.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, they really up the tech on this. On the special effects, they go for broke. Just in terms of weaponry and there's all the laws of physics are nowhere to be found in this film.
I wouldn't expect much,
but it's kooky and it's fun. It's like if the Sean Connery James Bond movies had been made with the $150 million budget,
yeah.
this is actually kind of close to what we would have gotten. It's a love letter to the fun of those movies.
Right. When those movies were a little bit more of a romp. And
yeah.
let's just kind of get crazy and have fun doing it.
Yeah, and they really play it up with the tech, and
Who's Julianne Moore?
Julianne Moore is the baddie in this.
Right.
Yeah, and they really shake it up in terms of what happens to the characters.
Okay. As far as like storylines go.
Storylines, yeah.
Into the next movie and all that stuff. You mean? Okay,
I mean, we basically, we see a whole new world come out of this. And I'm excited to see where they take this in Kingsman 3.
All right.
Yeah, I hope I see more movies of this. This was good. I'm not saying too much because I know there's people out there that really want to see this.
Yeah, right.
Like Agent Palmer, who sent me a fucking message in the doc telling me to you stay
Don't
away from.
spoil it.
And I told him to go scratch.
I
But
saw
I'm
that.
gonna. But I respect that. Go see.
That's
go to
still
the
that's still
theater.
sitting here. Don't let him ruin it for me.
You see,
And then you're like, go scratch.
yeah, you
Typical
you
Jeff.
can't do that with Palmer because he's trying to figure out what he's supposed to scratch now.
He's like, scratch what?
Your
Scratch.
balls.
Yeah, you got to tell him something like stuck on a Coney Island steamer.
Yeah. No, Coney Island steamer. You're switching it up a little bit now. Huh?
Oh, I don't even want to know what that one is.
But I'm definitely cashing this too. This is good. This is a lot of fun at the movies. It's what going to the movies is all about. To go have fun, see some good action, and I like gritty action too.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it definitely has that. It's R-rated, so fucking salute.
Well, take it easy there, guy. Jeez Louise. All right, how about, all right, so then we kind of split up from there. How about, Ed, you've got, you want to
Blu-ray review.
profess your Captain Marvel love?
Oh yes.
Without,
So
Which Captain Marvel is this?
without
Ed?
making a mess?
the fine folks at Kino Lorber,
Oh yeah, I know them well.
yes, have released a new Blu-ray version of Adventures of Captain Marvel.
Yes.
The,
Dun, dun, dun.
the 1941 serial starring Tom Tyler and Frank Coughlin Jr.
Yep.
Two superstars of cinema.
1940 what?
1941.
Yeah.
This is
These are the guys who got out of the war.
The year Bob was born.
yeah, and you know,
Happy 50th, Bob.
you know,
Actually, my father was born that year.
You know-
his name's Bob.
yeah, you know,
It's
folks.
literally happy birthday. Sorry, Ed. I'm
yeah.
so sorry.
Folks, know your history. This is the first live-action cinematic adaptation of a comic book superhero.
There you go.
History, folks. This is
Ed,
history.
I am surprised that you're sharing that with us here, as it could have been shared on your new show.
It's not DC.
It's not,
Not
DC.
technically-
Well,
Well,
Well-
it wasn't DC at the time. He's DC now.
It's Marvel
but-
owns it
Yeah,
because it's Captain Marvel, so it's Marvel.
Keep the authenticity.
yeah,
It wasn't DC.
yeah.
Okay. At this point in time, Marvel owned him.
No.
It was Fawcett, actually, right?
Fawcett Publication.
Ah, Bill knew something.
Yeah. But yeah, I get to see Billy Batson and Captain Marvel take on the Scorpion. It's a great mystery yarn.
Billy
Like,
Batch is in that?
Billy
Kids in the ass, I fucked them.
Batson.
Batson.
Batson. Batson. Different guy.
BATS.
Break up my body.
But no, seriously, do check this out.
I will.
It is a lot of fun, and it's a great mystery yarn. And like, legitimately, when you see Republic was the best studio of the serials. In the
Oh,
40s,
absolutely, yeah.
And you know, when most people make their lists of the top serials from that era, this is usually almost always at the
Oh,
top.
absolutely. Republic
And-
is fantastic.
And
Do I'm sorry. I'm just thinking, does he do the same thing that they did in the old Superman serials, where he took like 3 steps, jumped out the window, and then you heard, and it
Oh
cut?
no! Like I will defend this. These flying scenes are incredible, and they are
For the time.
legitimate. Like you see, they have him like. You actually see a person flying across a sky background. Yeah. The practical effects on this are really, really good. Like I'm not joking. No.
Okay.
No. Like you're saying, like, oh, this is an old movie. There was
Well,
there's
obviously,
no
yeah.
effects back then. But the miniature work that goes on in here and the creative ways
It actually
that
is really impressive.
Yeah, that they do this, it is really impressive, especially because
kind of what's his name, Harryhausen?
Pulling Opie right now and just
Yeah.
start smashing this to pieces.
Esque, I should say.
yeah.
He ain't stupid. He didn't bring the disc.
Oh
See that?
shit! I left the disc.
He didn't even bring the disc. He didn't trust us at all.
Oh my
kind of
god!
insert does
I
it have
left the
there?
disc in my Blu-ray player. I'm sorry.
Mm.
I was legitimately gonna watch that
Yeah,
later.
you'd probably get a kick out of that. That's from the studio.
Yeah, I
house.
own half of these.
Without even opening it up.
What I'm opening up is the catalog that's inside the Blu-ray, and it's all these. I seriously have a lot of this.
Oh, okay. I can't believe I forgot it at home. I'm sorry. I'll make sure. I
Well, it's
bring
not
it
like we're
next
gonna watch it.
I'm broken up.
time. Yeah.
No, Kino Lorber does a great job with their Blu-rays.
Yeah.
So
And the other thing that's great on this is that there are 12 chapters. The first one's half an hour. The others are about 16 minutes each.
Right.
And each one on this has a commentary track on it. And you get guys like Constantine Nasser and Leonard Maltin and the guys from Comic Geek Speak, specifically Adam Murdo, who I'm going to shout out now, I've always loved that podcast, and they do great work. And go check this out.
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
What I love about the look of this guy, what is this, Tom Tyler?
Yes.
What's his real name?
I don't know.
Well, you should look that up because this guy is not a Tom Tyler, but he looks more like a villain. He's got this look about him where like he is not classic, dashing, modern Hollywood standards.
It's funny because what he's mostly known for is playing heavies in westerns. He was the bad guy in Stagecoach.
Okay. That kind of I could see him being a bad guy really easy. He's got that kind of look to him. The power of Shazam: The Adventures of the Movie's First Comic Book Hero.
See, I like when Blu-rays give you a nice insert like that.
This is actually
you know what I mean?
decent
Get a
booklet.
little, yeah.
You got a couple minutes of reading here. The history of comic book movies begins with a single word: Shazuzel.
Yeah.
Begins with a single word: lawsuit.
Tom Tyler's birth name. You ready? Vincent Markowski.
Something told me he looked a little bit more international than that.
I know a Zia Markowski lives up in Albany.
Oh, look at all these movies with really crappy posters. Okay, all right. Well, Ed, so this was a one-disc Jammy Jam?
Yeah.
Any other serials that you're thinking about picking up?
I got a
Captain Crunch. You mentioned Captain
It's funny
Crunch.
because like I legitimately would like to investigate it. There's a lot of stuff out there that I've been trying to find. That you see some DVD copies and there's some stuff on YouTube, but it's always
I kind of
really
mean like in a
crappy
sense
quality.
of like I know you're a huge Captain Marvel fan, but like are you really into serials as much too, or is it just like this might be the only like thing like that I pick up?
It's one of those things I've always wanted to get into, but it's been hard to find quality copies of those.
Yeah, fair enough.
Zombies of the Stratosphere with Leonard Nimoy is a serial I'm going to personally recommend to you. Very good.
All right.
How old is he in that? 6?
No. This was in the 50s, I think. I want to say.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the Batman and the Superman.
I've actually heard that one's a classic.
Yeah, it is. It's good.
Yeah, Zombies of the Stratosphere. Yeah. I mean, that's
kind of started his career, right?
Yeah.
I think I saw them when they were on tour last year.
That was his first. That was Leonard Nimoy's first.
Marilyn Manson and Zombies of the Stratosphere. We're opening up for him.
That was Leonard Nimoy's first movie ever.
We're blaming on that guy.
Absolutely.
All right. And then, Jay, what's this Trespass I see you have listed in your, meanwhile, Trespass. You want to give a shout to...
Yeah, Shout Factory.
Shout Factory's Blu-ray edition?
Second time in a row on the show that I'm reaching out to Shout Factory.
Shout.
Now,
Shout at the factory.
That's right. Do you remember Trespass?
Not off the top of my head.
Trespass is Bill Paxton and Bill Sadler. He was the guy from the Tales from the Crypt film with Billy Zane. Remember that?
Yes.
And this was Ice-T and Ice Cube.
Oh, shit.
Where they were playing thugs.
Yeah. No way. No,
they were playing like a gang that execute one of their guys at the same time where Bill Paxton and Bill Sadler are looking for treasure in an abandoned factory in East St. Louis.
Okay.
Great fucking movie. And it's phenomenal. It is actually a very loose interpretation, very urban loose interpretation of Treasure of the Sierra Madre. And it's directed by Walter Hill, and it's written by Bob Zemeckis and Bob Gale.
Wow.
It was a script that they wrote in the 70s, and it's been circling around Universal for a long time, and they decided to give it to Walter Hill because he was looking for something to do. Right. And so Walter Hill brought his best fucking gritty A game on this, man. It's really fucking gritty. It's very good. It didn't get good reviews, but I'll tell you why. Because at the time it came out, that's when the LA riots were going on.
Yeah.
And they pushed it down to the December, like a Christmas release. Like, who the fuck is going to go to see like a big fucking gangland, urban gangland movie Christmas week? You know what I mean? And the critics were definitely channeling the LA riots on this. And that kind of fucked up the whole critique of the film.
I can see that. I get kind of mired into all that stuff at the time. Yeah.
Right. So this release is actually giving it its due.
And what year is it?
This was 92.
Yeah, I don't think Ice-T was, or either one of those guys was like, the mainstream wasn't having much with them. Like,
to be fair,
between body count and shit like that.
Well, Ice-T's first movie was New Jack City. That was a hit.
Oh, yeah.
Ice Cube's first movie was Boys in the Hood. That was a hit. So they were looking to collaborate the two.
Oh, this follows after that by like a short amount?
Yeah, well, it went into production that year in 91.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it followed up those movies so closely.
It was finished in early 92. It was getting ready to release, and the riots happened.
Good times.
So
yeah,
but definitely go see this. This is one gem of a flick, man. Very gritty.
And we got a little time. You can drop a little nugget about LEGO Ninjago or whatever.
He's speaking to Ed now, not me.
I'm sorry.
I didn't see it.
No, yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't really care for it.
Okay then. Trash. Is that why it was like only if we really want to?
Yeah.
Because it's like meh.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the original Lego movie. Everything is awesome.
Yeah, no.
It was trying to recapture a lot of that magic, though.
Yeah. It was basically like a clone. It's his father-son story. It's and everything, and it's
But they needed the Craggle.
Yeah. There was nothing that really stood out. There's nothing you could say that's like wrong with it.
Right.
But there's nothing truly inspiring about this. So yeah, you could skip this.
Okay,
Trash
then
it.
in that case,
formulaic kid stuff.
In that case,
go see Trespass instead.
You got
Ed.
you got something? You got something?
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. Oh, hey.
Hello.
What's your name?
My name's Dom.
Tom. You have a question for the guys on the panel?
No. I have a meanwhile.
Hey, you can share with the group.
I like your hat, by the way, man.
Thank you.
It's very evil. Just want to say.
It's a devil's hat.
But they're from Jersey.
I finished Rick and Morty. I'm all caught up.
You all caught up, bro? I'm like 3 episodes behind. I don't know why my browser's been messing with me when I go to the Adult Swim website because I've been watching them like legit like on the site, but it's fucking blast, right?
So good, so fun.
It's mental. It's just mental.
Nobody else here watches it, right?
No, these guys should. I think these guys would get a blast out of it. It is so swimming.
Bob would love it, really.
It's so
Bob would
swimming
really love it,
in every single kind of like sci-fi trope and just fucking with. I can't even. It's just mental.
Yeah, it's not easy to explain.
No, by no means.
No.
I mean,
But,
loosely, it's kind of like, all right, it's it's Doc McFly and Marty.
Yeah,
and like, you know what I mean? But like,
it's Back to the Future.
But
like.
the Doc is really like, because it's a cartoon, he's next level, super scientist. You know what I mean? But also Trainwreck is a human being, anyway, and really like super narcissistic and. It's really not about anybody else, Morty. Like, you know what I mean? It's just about me, and like this kind of shit. And Morty's just like the kid who gets kind of swept up in it all the time. And, it's too much for him to handle.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Rick. All right, Rick, we'll do it. All you'll want to do is the voices all day long. But it's just, it's really crazy over the top. There's obviously a reason why everybody's talking about it. It's because it's actually kind of like a lot of fun.
Right.
It's a good blast. Like, actually, it takes you a little bit to kind of. You tell me if I'm wrong on this. Like, when first time you're watching it, it's like, what is going on? Like, is this going by too fast for me? Maybe, and then like, oh, okay, all right, I got.
Yeah, it's wacky, so it's like a little overwhelming in the beginning.
You gotta get used to like
get used to it,
their verbiage and setup in a way. Like sometimes with certain shows, it's like, okay, I just had to settle in for a second. But I get it. I mean, the setup's easy, but it's just like they're not waiting for you. By no means does this show wait for you to get the fucking punchline or to get the reference.
All right, well, that's a good thing.
That's that's what's great about it.
Absolutely. Like sometimes, because like Simpsons or Family Guy will sit on a joke, like they like to do that. Like Rick and Morty is just like, we're on to the next thing.
In the chat room, Thomas K suggests that
it's like they're loading.
You would have to go to the pot shop before watching Rick and Morty.
I'm not sure if it helps.
And I don't know if I disagree.
Yeah.
But that's all I'm gonna say about it.
Yeah, fair enough.
So it's like they have a joke shotgun that just keep going boom, boom.
Well, what's funny is like I watched the thing with Dan Harmon and the other guy talking about like the process, and it's like they'll write episodes, and it's so true when you think back about it, like that are like some other show would have gotten a season out of like the bullshit that they do. Like, you know what I mean? It's like
Back to the Future met Seinfeld basically, because just so.
And it's
about nothing and so wacky and all over the place.
But it's like the extremes that they'll go to, that Rick will go to kind of like do something mundane. And then eventually, like, I don't want to give anything away in a way.
No, I mean, you really can't. It's like, It's not one of those.
If I started to describe some of it, it would probably sound a little cheeseball a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we could just.
I'd say, you know what? It's a hard recommendation, and you have to watch it on your own.
It's a stash for me.
Yeah, it's definitely a stash.
And I've watched the first 3 episodes of
and sit through the credits on Rick and Morty too. There's always a end button after the credits.
Yeah, but watch the first 3 episodes of American Horror Story so far this year.
How's that going?
It's cool, man. It's very political, so it's like.
Ooh, okay.
It's interesting, but a little annoying at times too. But it's all about cults and shit, and I'm into that stuff. Like
you're into cults? You're into cults?
Yeah.
You looking for friends? You want a group of friends?
I just always want more friends, man.
It's like to gather around at night, you know, around a bonfire.
Yeah.
You into the occult too?
Yeah. No, not really.
Everybody bring a chicken. Everybody bring an animal under 3 pounds.
But pretty decent.
Yeah.
Sarah Paulson's great. She's such a fucking great actor.
Yeah, she is. She's really good.
It's amazing.
Who else is in it? Because didn't they bring somebody else in this season?
Yeah, it's
really
her,
that person.
Evan Peters. I'm blanking out everybody else.
Isn't there? Didn't they bring in a singer or somebody?
Yeah, I can't think of who it is.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
Wasn't it Lady Gaga or something? Or she was in one
she
before?
She was in a season in the past, but that I didn't watch. But I don't know if
it's not Rihanna, right? Because Rihanna
Maybe
popped up on
Rihanna.
something. Or did Rihanna pop up on Bates Motel, maybe? I know Rihanna popped up on something, I think.
Who gives a fuck?
That's true, too. In the chat room.
She was in a movie you and I recently watched.
Rihanna? Oh, yeah. She was in Valerian. She's in Valerian.
She's looking good lately, man.
Yeah.
I mean, she was always.
I was just gonna say,
lately she's been looking extra good.
Extra good. Extra good. All right.
Yeah, she's hiding.
That's it for the old meanwhiles. Unless you got some. You got some?
Well,
you got some? I saw you give me a look.
I got a new show, but I don't think it's anything you guys would be interested in.
Well, what is it? What is it? Let's see. Let us be the judge of that.
All right, Garage Rehab with
go fuck yourself.
Richard Rollins.
No, I'm okay. Well, give it a quick plug for people who might be into it. I mean, you know, I'm not going to take it away from you.
I wasn't going to say anything, but you know.
Well, what was the name? Because I stepped on it a little bit. What was the name of it?
Garage Rehab. Richard Rollins, the guy from Fast and Loud.
Okay.
He's got another show where he rehabs garages.
All right, you've been watching that?
Yeah. Right. Basically, he's becoming a partner and rehabbing the whole place, and then basically if it fails, he gets a shot.
Okay.
If the guy fucks up. If the guy don't fuck up, then the guy works, pays off the loan.
So there's a little bit of a through line actually for this one.
Yeah.
To see how he does.
He's doing this to expand, and he doesn't really hide that. He doesn't say it every week, but going into the show, that's known. In the first episode, he kind of says something.
Oh, okay.
But really quick, because it's not what we talk about here. It's like a place like this needs a $250,000 makeover.
Right.
He's got that money now.
Okay.
Not a lot of people have that money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he'll come in with his crew and these guys who do this for a living, rip apart the place, clean everything out, set it all up with all brand new equipment, paint it and everything. And they come up with a business plan, and if the guy can pay it off, if the guy can run the place, and he should be able to, because now he's got everything. He's got like extra lifts. He's set up to do this. He's got nitro for the tires. He's got all these extra things to help promote extra business.
Okay.
So he shouldn't really fail.
Right.
But if he's the kind of person who never really did his business in the first place, which is kind of what put them in this position.
Right.
Rich is going to end up owning the place.
Okay. It's kind of like, you know what it reminds me of? It's a little bit of like The Prophet. You ever see the show The Prophet on MSNBC?
Yeah, I love that
It's a little bit like that. So he's coming in for a piece of the business, though, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I'll help you rehab this.
Yeah, because he's coming in with his own money. He's not going to do this
right,
just out of the goodness of his heart.
Right, that's a big hook on this show, The Prophet.
Right, he's coming in basically as a partner. So you kind of have to understand that in the beginning. They don't really say that, but that's basically what it is.
Right.
Yeah. Well, the thing with the Prophet that I like is half the time he walks away.
Yeah, a lot of times he'll pull out.
Yeah, he'll
he's
pull
like,
out.
you just don't have it.
Yeah, or he'll just say, hey, I just lost $200,000 on you guys. I just better cut my losses now, and runs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always because you don't think it's going to end that way usually when you always kind of feel like, oh, he's going to have a heart, and you're like, oh no, I forgot, this guy doesn't really have a heart. Like he's as good as any other business.
No, he does. It's just people are morons.
He knows how to walk away from stupid.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, the Garage Rehab show is it's going to be a good show.
What channel is it on?
It's on Discovery Channel.
So
Discovery, and then you can also probably find it eventually on Velocity because that's
where their stuff ends up.
Yeah, it's the way
Sister station.
It's a sister station. Yeah.
All right, so all you gearheads and grease monkeys, go check it out.
Wow. Yeah. You'd think we had the guy who did the voiceover
You know
here
what I
in the
mean?
room or
Like-
something.
I'm not gonna fucking do it. If that's what you fucking want me to fucking do, I will not fucking do it. Go fuck yourself.
I thought maybe if I didn't look at you, like if I didn't make eye contact and put you on the spot too much.
You know, I swear that's my voice.
We should.
It's not.
We should
I
make
thought it
ano-
was you when I
we should
first
make
heard
another
it.
one with Jay's voice.
Email. Yeah.
Just play it once 1 week when he's not.
I want to do the
expecting
Wicked
it.
Theory intro one day.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Well, look, eventually these things will all get switched out.
Dun.
Something like that. You want to do the coming to you live from
Broadcasting to you live.
I'll
Whatever.
look forward to it, folks. It'll happen when you least expect it.
From the Ed Sullivan Theater.
I've always said if somebody wants to take that once in a while. All right, so let's do it. Let's check out some emails. How about that?
I'll do the intro one day.
How about that?
How about what?
How about emails?
Email.
I was stalling just a tiny bit. All right, so first one here is actually from Agent Palmer.
Jason?
Straight from the starship. USS Palmer. So he says, despite Ed's irrational fear of Canadians, are Ed or Uncle Jay looking forward to anything coming out of the Toronto International Film Festival? Hey, this is actually like a really, this is a real film question.
Wait a minute. That's in Canada?
Yeah, the Toronto stands for Canada.
Well, it looks like Ed's not giving his answer.
So sorry about that. I don't know. Do you guys really follow it? And actually, his follow-up is in how closely do they actually pay attention to things like film festival circuits?
I used to here and there, but now I just, play it day by day.
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? Because I'm not going there.
Right. But do you check out like sites that kind of
No,
websites at all?
If I ever read news sites, you know what I mean? Somebody will say, "Well, this did really
You'll
well
see
at
it
the
in the
Toronto Film
headlines. You might
Festival."
check out something if it grabs you.
This got a little buzz, and then that'll make me want to see one of the entries.
Yeah.
Did he say what other movies, or is there a list of?
Actually, he does have a list here. That's
All about Eve, eh?
but it's on Wired, and Wired likes to sit behind a fucking if you have an ad blocker, we don't like you wall.
That's pretty common.
Is that
these days,
new
isn't it?
George Clooney movie part of it?
Suburbicon,
Yeah, I want to see that. That looks really fucking good.
Yeah, that looks pretty mental.
Yeah, I think this is where Oscar season usually starts. Like most of the big movies that or at least independent movies that earn nominations come out
Fuck
of
the
this.
Oscars.
Well, they have this article is like really about them jamming in links to YouTube.
Oscars
videos.
needs to broaden their horizons a little bit. Pay attention to the first half of the fucking year, maybe.
Oh, spicy.
Ed'll agree with me on that.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Well, I think it's also kind of like is there a certain way that studios target those voters?
Those vaudeville acts?
Yeah. Oh, I know what I'm excited about.
What are you excited about out of the TIFF?
Shia LaBeouf and Sverrir Gudnason in Borg McEnroe. You excited for that? The
fact that someone that's a character name, Borg McEnroe?
Yeah, no. Bjorn Borg,
versus
and
McEnroe.
John McEnroe.
Oh.
Shia LaBeouf.
Is McEnroe?
Yeah, playing John McEnroe.
That might be actually pretty good.
Yeah, and
Actually, as someone who was a teenager at that time, I don't care.
Well, you caught a trailer, Dom? Or
I didn't care then. I don't care now.
there's a trailer floating around?
yeah,
Okay, cool.
there's a trailer. But they say that because McEnroe's left-handed and LaBeouf is right-handed, they
flip the film?
they reversed all of the shots to make it look genuine, and I'm excited to
Can't
see
hear.
if that's
Can't
bullshit.
hear.
I'm off. I'm off too.
Yeah, he knows. He's gonna give us power back in a second. All right. So that's fair and good. Yeah, I thought you That's why we were all like, we can't hear. All right.
We're back.
Well, our headphones anyway. So next email. Thank you, Agent Palmer, for your email about something actually film related. Yeah,
Suburbicon looks really good. I'm really excited for that because I love like dark comedies.
Well, it looks, yeah, right. It looks like that kind of like that dark quirk. It's like Coen Brothers.
Well, they wrote it, I believe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, because it feels like that.
Well, they co-wrote it.
They cleaned it up. So next one comes from James Hazelden. It's a James Hazelden report, basically.
James.
In the subject line, it says no subject, seriously. And then the opening line is, who needs a subject? Bill is begging for emails, so we don't need them. Just some rambling for him to read to fill the time.
All right.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Well, poking the fucking dick,
right?
huh?
You know what I mean? I mean, whether he's right or wrong, it's still a
little poking the fucking
little
dick.
jab. It's a little jab.
I don't know.
It's a little jab.
You sit there and date that?
I don't know.
Well, since we're filling time,
I can't. I'm not going out to his house.
Relax, will you? For crying out loud, what's
I'm
going into you?
I'm not.
anyone want to talk about the Orville from last week?
Well, as a matter of fact, Ed, his next line says, "So I'll ramble about the Orville."
Okay.
That's like that's like. Do you have access to the account or something?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. So I watched it while I was doing laundry. Hurrah for free Wi-Fi. The only thing that the show is missing, actually, is to keep it from being Star Trek, is the logo and the branding. It's hilarious, though. One thing keeps throwing me off. I've known Seth as the voice of Brian from Family Guy for too long, so it's almost confusing at times.
I don't think that should be an issue, though.
No, I don't know what CBS is going to do when nobody's interested in paying for their brand new Star Trek when you can just watch Orville instead. Good point. I thought I'd go in the movies last night. I'm not a big Stephen King fan. I really have no interest in it. Fuck you, Jay. I don't care how good you say it is.
Well, fuck you, too, because you're missing out on a good fucking movie.
There you go.
Double fuck you.
We're really getting like his breakdown on things here. And as far as Kingsman, yeah, that series would be straight to VHS rental store back in the day. So I don't see anything because everything else, I either didn't recognize the title or have no interest in the plot.
I disagree with that statement, too.
And maybe we can help him out here a little bit. My wife gets upset I don't want to watch the romantic comedy movies she does, and I haven't been able to explain that they're all the same. They have the same formula. They all follow it. I mean, you can like some cheap, scary movies and watch the clock go, and okay, right? You know what the formula is, where like up to X Men, you know what they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. Okay, now we're here, and this will happen. Okay, time for the dramatic incident that splits them up. A few minutes out of their lives without each other. Then okay, we got 20 minutes left to have them run into each other one last time and start working on the happy ending. So, but I feel like that's kind of like is formula for everything.
There's 4 original ideas
exactly
in a screenplay.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
What you do with them is
right.
Basically what
it's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
And what I was thinking when I was reading this earlier was I was like, saying, you know what, you should probably make it just a personal game. Like if you kind of feel like I got to sit through this, thing to be fair and have quality time. So make it a personal game in your head. Don't give her the rundown of everything the movie's doing wrong because that gets annoying. But like in your own head, just be like, oh, wow. And so when you come out of the movie, you can like legitimately say, hey, this movie actually kind of surprised me a little bit, honey. Blah, blah, blah. And it sounds like you really fucking paid attention, which basically you did, but you were breaking it down as a movie. You weren't sitting there like, oh, how is this movie going to melt my heart? It's all about the dogs. They had dogs in it. Oh, my God. All right. Speaking of 20 minutes, that's about the length of this email, which reminds me, I need to rent Jeepers Creepers. That's a good movie, where at the end they actually have the unexpected happen. I don't really remember.
The first one?
I guess. I guess that's what he's meaning. So my question after all of that, I know there's only like 7 main plots. It's great that he mentions that. I think he's right on the 7 numbers. There's only like 7 main plots. Everything else is just variations of those 7. I'm guessing Ed was the first one to bring this up before you got here. That's funny. It was actually Jay. He's calling the show now.
Wow.
This is getting like very meta.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking scared. I'm ready to.
I ain't fucking scared. I'm not got any dragon, ghost, or fucking she-beast.
I don't know if I'm going to stay for the after show, Bill.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Why not?
Okay. Why can't we get more movies where they don't just cookie cutter a plot and swap out cast? He goes, I don't know. I'm going to take a break before I start ranking up grass clippings for the burn pile. I guess that's It's more Ed's field, this question. What are some good romantic comedies I could get to watch with my wife? That won't bore me to sleep. That's a question for Ed, I think is what he's saying.
Well, I've always had a sore spot for You've Got Mail.
Hey, you know, a little Harry Met Sally.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for Tom
Actually,
Hanks.
When Harry Met Sally is a decent written
actually it is.
film about a relationship. I think.
I would say the Nora Ephron stuff for the most part.
But I wouldn't necessarily call When Harry Met Sally a chick flick either.
No. It feels like it's a little different.
Yeah,
for whatever reason.
It's a little edgier too, I think.
It's got a little more going on there.
Yeah,
you know?
And
it does have the orgasm scene.
Well, that's that too.
Well, a movie that just came out this year. I don't even know if it's on DVD yet, but the Big Sick with Kumail Nanjiani.
Oh yeah.
Ray Romano and Holly Hunter both give excellent performances in that.
Ray. What do you mean you're going to be my son-in-law? Which is all based on a true story.
I got to give Ray Romano credit for actually branching
Yeah,
out
give me credit. Yeah.
into bigger things.
Oh.
I mean,
no, yeah, and he's like he's looking good in that. Like he doesn't seem too annoying. Actually, I saw a lot of clips from that. Yeah, it actually looks like a really good movie. The Big Sick.
Yeah, he made some money on those cartoons he was doing, so he's had time to work it out.
Ray Romano was doing cartoons?
Ice Age.
The movies. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
that's easy cash.
Yeah. Boy, my voice is annoying today.
Yeah, he's the voice of the woolly mammoth.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not certainly an expert in rom-coms, but I mean, technically, you could call like Shaun of the Dead a rom-com.
No, not really. No.
Groundhog Day, I call that a rom-com.
But again, the gimmick bears the rom-com bit.
Yeah, with that one.
You know what I mean?
It's
You're
one of those
talking
ones that's on the fringe.
straightforward romantic comedy kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like you said, You Got Mail, Sleepless in Seattle's another one.
Yeah.
Well, still though, maybe for his purposes, Groundhog Day works because it's
maybe
something
Sure.
for it to keep him awake while his wife gets into the romantic comedy part.
That's a fair point. Something that applies to both of you a little bit.
Although, do you wish that they'd use someone else instead of Annie McDowell? Do you think?
No, she served the purpose of the film. I think
she's good in that. I don't feel like I mean, granted, it's like she's that character. Sadly, is almost secondary in a way. It's very much Bill's character's story. You know what I mean? But
I don't even think secondary. I think actually what's going on takes a better hold of.
That's fair. It's fair. It's like it's Bill. It's the big mechanic of the thing,
right?
And then it's like her,
and then them. Yeah.
And then
else.
them. It's a fair point. But so to a degree, you could almost say you could swap her out with somebody else. You know what I mean? But was she like lacking in any way? I don't think so. I just don't think the material really probably gave anybody too much for her to kind of really stretch within. You know what I mean? There's only so many times you can say the same line exact same way.
Yeah. But I mean, my recommendations, I would generally stay away from the Katherine Heigl stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of maybe some of that stuff,
What do you mean, like 27 dresses?
Yeah,
27 dresses off the back of a trunk.
The Ugly Truth.
The Ugly Truth.
Yeah.
Love Actually.
Oh, she's not in that.
Well, whatever. Oh, we were talking about her movies. I thought we were just naming.
Yeah.
I thought we were just naming rom-coms.
Love Actually isn't
not that this
isn't bad.
Yeah.
And not that this one is really a rom-com, but it is more of a woman's movie, but it's one that he might be able to stay awake through.
Okay.
Bridesmaids.
Yeah. Bridesmaids. That'll be fun. I mean, that's if you can't sit through that.
Just that dress scene alone.
Yeah. It's a couple of high points.
Oh, so you want a comedy that has some good romantic elements to it. The same director as
Christine. That's a good one.
Yeah. The same director.
She loves him. He loves her. I mean, come on.
You got to.
And she'll do anything to keep people out of the way between them.
Yeah, Richard Curtis is the British director.
Love Actually is a decent ensemble movie about relationships and love, actually.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I got you. So Richard Curtis did too. Pirate Radio, which you could say whether or not that's a romantic comedy.
No, it's not.
No,
it's not.
I wouldn't know anyway.
No, but About Time. That's one with Donald Gleason and Rachel McAdams. That's really good. And there was the other. What was the thing that Rachel McAdams did, where she was like a morning TV show producer with Harrison Ford?
Oh,
Morning Glory.
There we go.
All right. So with that,
The time traveler's wife.
I know way too much about that. No, that's not funny.
As far as his other question, why can't we get more movies where they just don't cookie cutter a plot and swap out a cast? Few and far between, my friend, but they're there, and the real answer for why you keep getting them is because that's Hollywood these days, man. What gets results, they will copy to try and get the same results.
If it wasn't like that, they wouldn't make it. And if you look into the indie stuff, there's different stuff out there. Check out like the mumblecore movies.
Well, as far as like not even like the romantic stuff, just in general, I think he's just this was the thing to previously.
That's why he's kind of answering his own question. Really, there's 7, original ideas out there, and basically what they're doing is just taking that.
Yeah, he can't. You're not gonna be able to escape the cookie cutter to a degree. This is like an issue, right? Like think about it.
It is.
Like the more you just see movies, the more you get to know the format. And here's the other thing too. Like most movies, like because scripts are actually timed in a certain way, like you feel the beats, like of a movie. Subconsciously.
Right.
Like it's 60 minutes in, something crazy is going to happen in every movie because it's 60 pages in of every script.
Right.
That's what they do in Hollywood. They give you, boom, at an hour, like something crazy happens.
Right.
The story either flips completely around or the big revelation happens. That's going to mean a big impact on the drama. Or like in a movie, like it's more of like an action thing. It's usually it could be some big set piece instead.
Right. Which is why I think that there's a lot of original ideas going on in comic books. Which is probably why they went into that.
Yeah,
like, there's some really good stories.
As far as setups go,
I'm not even talking about like Marvel anymore. They even started. I mean, back to Road to Perdition and Ghost World and shit like that. There's some really good, storytelling going on in those books.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, if you want something that's different, that's off the beaten path, that does not follow a general structure, Google Mumblecore. That's MUMBLECORE.
And there's good stuff in there.
It's different.
Because I've heard mixed stuff about mumblecore without having to get all into it.
Another form of metal.
It's super natural.
It probably is. To be honest with you,
it's very naturalistic acting. It's most general slice of life stories, but for most of them, the dialogue is all improvised.
Chloe Svengi
although and a lot of them, the stories go in different directions because they don't really know what the ending is. Because they're shooting it as they're doing it.
Brown Bunny.
Yeah. Oh, you've seen that, right?
No, I just know about it. I don't know the legend.
She gives head.
She gives head, that kid.
On film.
No, I know. So, maybe other people.
That's the reason why I watched it.
Of course. All right. Let's see what that's all about.
He's an odd cat, Vincent Gallo.
Oh, my God.
Very odd.
I'm glad he's gone.
No shit.
Well, you know what? He did a really good recommendation for a mafia film to James. Is watch a film that Abel Ferrara did called The Funeral. With Christopher Walken, Chris Penn, and Vincent Gallo.
All right.
That is a really good fucking mafia movie. But it's out there.
Okay. All right.
So definitely watch it.
We got one more in here. Let's see.
Wesley.
Hey, you gentlemen. I recently got tickets to go to Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone live in concert. And I was wondering, is there a movie that you have seen several times but would still go to a concert where there was like a live orchestra during the movie?
Superman the movie.
Metropolis.
Superman the movie. Anything by John Williams. I'm there.
That's a fair point. Yeah, he's got some good stuff, like any of those, all his Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, anything John Williams, Jerry Goldsmith. Yeah.
Ed basically attacked his microphone to answer this one.
Yes.
He's like, strings. I like strings. Oh my God, is there a trombone?
Because he does those. You know who also does those all the time?
Okay.
Carpenter. John Carpenter.
Just him and a synth. Just him and his keyboard.
Well, he goes on tour and does concerts because he
one-handed.
It's like Danny Elfman, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. Like Jay's right. He goes on tour and he does concerts.
He's got an album out where it's just like sounds like all of his B-sides that he never used in a movie.
You know what? He's not just limited to that, though. You know what I mean? There's a lot more to him as a musician. You know what I mean? He just does that for his films because they work in his films.
Oh, yeah,
You know, it's very eerie in like Halloween and stuff like that. But if there's a silent movie and I wanted like Metropolis, if there's like a live, if there's a live symphony in the theater,
playing the original
there's nothing
music from it. Sure,
then
absolutely.
you can, it's great stuff.
I would go with like any of the like hip hop movies.
Oh,
like,
sure.
Like 8 Mile or
Right. Would you go to the Game of Thrones thing?
Yeah, like that. But I'm just saying because like at 8 Mile, like the music would be like performed by Eminem.
Well, yeah.
So like it'd be like going to an Eminem
You're going to like a little Eminem
with
concert.
8 Mile playing in the back.
That's not a bad idea. Like even if it's not a
or
hip-hop
like the
movie, but
NWA movie, like you have NWA performing.
You have the actual bands come out and.
Well, I think you just revived Eminem's career.
I think it'll actually be an interesting thing to try and do with almost any movie soundtrack. Yeah. Bring out the actual acts that, like, you know. But sadly, like, they're only going to play like 30 seconds of the song because it's like, you know, like
it's the scene.
It's just a scene, and then they're out. Then they're out. I do a verse, and then I'm out. Like, you know. All right, so he's got another one in here. Arnold Schwarzenegger seems to be redoing some of his older movies. Yeah, we talked about this. So which do you think could be updated most, or should, or whatever?
Red Heat.
No, leave
Belushi's down.
I'll leave it at that.
No, I
Twins.
No.
Leave Red Heat alone. It's a
no. Stop it.
Ed's being goofy now. Jay's being serious.
No, leave Red Heat alone.
Don't pick on Red Heat. Don't you dare pick on Red Heat. Red Scorpion, you can
leave
pick
that
on
alone. Leave that alone too.
Ed was reacting to my idea of twins.
Red Scorpion is actually okay for what it is.
I know he's gonna be like,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
right.
No, Red Heat works because of Walter Hill's direction.
Commando.
I just mentioned him. He's a gritty director. If they remake it, it ain't gonna be as gritty. I'm telling you right now. They're gonna PG-13 the fucker. And even nobody, including my mother's, gonna watch that.
You know what? Bobby says Commando, right? Which is a good one. But I immediately
To be loved, though. To be loved.
And immediately in my head, like I saw this, like, oh, they would make it today. It would be John Cena, and it would feel like crap. It would feel like a WWE straight to
video.
You know
exactly.
what I mean? Unless you got like I don't know, like The Rock or somebody else maybe to kind of do it. Somebody who's kind of like.
I think a retelling of The Running Man might work, to really
get
go...
Josh Brolin now that he's all jacked.
Yeah.
You can go back to...
redo Running Man and make Schwarzenegger the game show host.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. You know what? I could see that. Too.
And make the show, like, it's more global, like a little bit,
If you're going to redo Running Man, do it right. Do it the way it's done in the book.
Well, that's what I was just about to say.
Fair enough.
The source material.
Well, yeah, he's black in the book, right? The game show host? I think he's in the
I don't even remember. It doesn't matter.
No, fair enough.
Do it as a game of death in an area with grids. And,
it's not all that light bright
things are kind of like specific to... Events are kind of specific to an area, and because each area kind of has a theme.
Right.
But I did enjoy that movie for what it was, and a lot of it works because Richard Dawson really fucking sells that as a real game show, actually.
No, but you know what? If anything from his is probably like overdue, and like they could do something with it, like Running Man, like should even be like a Netflix show or something.
Like if you're talking to Schwarzenegger's resume, I think maybe that one I can actually see being done. Yeah,
it seems like the one that. Outside of like maybe wanting to see him do King Conan, because there's always talk about that. Like,
well, that's a sequel. That's not really a
fair enough.
A redo.
Fair enough. But I think outside of like what's in his bag of tricks to revisit on like any level. Really,
well, I think because of the way reality TV is going.
Yeah.
Like we're a stone throw from grabbing fucking inmates and surviving for their fucking life.
Oh yeah.
So you can easily sell that idea and pitch it, and it'll get done.
Oh no, yeah. Oh no, yeah.
By the way, Jay, so John Carpenter is going to be performing in New York City's Terminal 5 on November 16th. Tickets are $39.50 a pop.
Okay.
Where's my card? Where's my credit card?
Think about it.
Let's go see John Carpenter, Bob.
Wesley's got another one here. It's what would be the worst combination of superpowers? And I would say anything that Zan and Jaina came up with. Because one's a giraffe and one's a bucket of water, and you have to be in only the most ridiculous situation where that's helpful. But the worst combination of superpowers.
Well, actually, I don't. Well, combination.
Yeah, like if you have two. I
was just thinking, like the worst superpower I ever saw portrayed on TV was probably on Family Guy when they got superpowers.
Okay.
And Meg got the superpower to let her fingernails grow long.
Like that is kind of like
everyone else has got all the it's like the Incredibles.
Okay, sure. They're doing like that scene.
Yeah,
They're doing like an
that,
homage to that.
Yeah, but she's like, Meg, what can you do?
Yeah, and it's like a quarter inch or something like that, right? It's not even it's not even helpful.
Like an inch, and that's it. Like and then she tries to scratch somebody, like.
That's funny. Anybody else?
Invisibility and big dick.
No one can see it.
Yeah.
Having a big dick is a superpower, I guess, huh? I don't know.
Some people are mutants.
Super speed and premature ejaculation.
Well, I guess it means it depends on how big.
Well, like a tripod.
What do you got? Like a third leg day?
A three-hander?
Kickstand? What the fuck? All right.
I got a three-hander.
We've degenerated. All right. So with that, he's got a closing line. I'm in a world of shit. Yes, but I'm alive, and I am not afraid.
Barnes.
Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, I thought it was Platoon. I'm sorry.
That's close enough. It's war.
Yeah.
It's war.
I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
Yeah. What? The fuck? Who are you talking to?
It was Behringer, wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, but I think he does say that. Right?
I am reality. That's the Tom Berenger. That's awesome fucking scene, though.
Awesome. Totally awesome. Let's.
Hey, Todd McFarlane's here.
Let's wrap this up. It was a little bit of both. That was Todd
McFarlane?
Tom McFarlane's face. Let's just wrap this up because I think we're at about time. And what we're gonna do is in the other half, if you listen live, don't go anywhere. We're gonna play a bit. We're gonna do a game. Palmer.
Yeah.
Did he jump the gun?
Yeah. One quick thing.
Okay.
If you're listening to this live, Sunday night, Star Trek Discovery premieres on CBS. Yeah, and if you listen on Monday,
look for check the local Staten Island obituaries.
Yeah.
Or police blotter.
It's being aired on CBS.
The first episode is being aired on CBS.
And then what? And then direct or something. Right?
On Saturdays at 8:30, and then all future episodes. Sunday at 8:30, and all future episodes will be available through their streaming service, CBS All Access.
Which is how much?
$5 a month, with a 30-day free trial.
Which means people are going to be downloading it illegally.
Right. Yeah, I'll watch it with Bob.
Yeah.
Move over.
Yeah. So,
I was saying I was downloading illegally.
just so you know, my sister is getting married in 2 weeks.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah. Is she taking the dog with her?
Veneverici.
No, it's my brother's dog.
Oh, the dog's going to be there. It's got to be there.
The dog's going to be the ring bearer.
He's the ring bearer.
Oh, God.
He's the best man.
But, so anyway,
I love German Shepherds, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what my schedule is going to be if I'm not on the show the next 2 episodes. It's not because of Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, well.
Shut up, asshole.
But what if it's...
You don't like dogs? Get your fucking mic taken, bitch.
See that?
Come on.
See that?
Don Torrey, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
Letting you know how it is.
Come on.
God, the scotch is
a lot
working.
of dog love. I got dog love. I love dogs.
The scotch is working.
On you? I think I need more. I got to make more coffee or something. More coffee. All right. So if you don't hear it for 2 weeks, he's not dead. Well, maybe he is. We'll figure it out as we go. So 2 weeks you're taking off?
I don't know yet. I think I'll be here next week, but I'm not sure. I think so.
Fuck.
There's this weird thing about a bachelor party in Cape Cod.
Oh, those are great. Can I go?
A bachelor party in Cape Cod.
Yeah.
Ooh. Take it on the road.
Yeah, I'm not going to that though.
We're gonna have a bachelor party with hookies and fire trucks.
And fire trucks.
Watch Bachelor Party before you go see that movie.
You'll have a better time.
I'm going with you, man.
If Jay goes, will you go?
Come on, I'm your +1.
Ed, don't.
Yeah.
You'll be smoking crack by the end of the night. Hey,
let me show you a real
If that
Coney.
happens, I want pictures.
Let me show you a real Coney Island whitefish.
I thought there was a difference between freebasing and crack. I thought that was different. All right.
You say coca freebase. Unless you got some.
Everybody's got a hobby. All right. So let's wrap it up. Jay?
Yeah.
Where can people find you if they want to find you? On Twitter?
Call my mother.
No, Mrs. C, where's Jay at? We've been all through the neighborhood. We can't find him nowhere.
He ain't with you, Joey. Jay hasn't lived home since 1987.
And if you see him, tell him I want my $30. And it's sauce in the fridge for him.
Where's that bastard? You know what's great? I do owe her $30.
Hey,
that's
salute.
the guy.
Here's the mom.
Savazooch.
Here's the mom and $30.
Yeah, here's to this fucking scotch.
All right.
Uncle Jay at Jason Chickley's on Twitters.
Ed, where can people find you?
At the bachelor party next week.
On the DCTV Report starting this week.
On the DCTV Report starting in just 2 hours. 3 hours. 3 hours.
We don't do math here.
And 5 minutes.
That's true.
Yes, and you could also find me on Twitter at DCTV Report and at Edward O'Hare TBD.
You can find the DCTV Report on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play Music. Dom?
Y'all can find me on Twitter.
Yeah?
At Dom_Tory.
For real?
TORRE.
Oh, shnikes.
And at the Unicorn Diner.
Yeah.
Get the sausage, egg, and cheese.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. All right, so how about Bob?
Me?
Yeah, you.
You sure it's my turn?
I think so.
All right.
We've run out of other people.
I'm at Bob WTPC.
Very nice, folks. Very nice. See that? You see that, folks? That's how we do it. And I'm at Wicked Theory. The show is at wickedtheory.com and also iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and everywhere. Joey
Saza. Hey,
Sasso used to be Ron.
Saza.
And I think that's going to wrap it up.
Short for Ronaldo.
That's enough noise and whatnots. And just so you know, if you're listening live,
stick around.
Really, but we're going right into it, kind of, because we got no buffer anymore. We don't got the DCTV Report for a 5-minute break. I do have a song.
What about that elevator music you used to play?
Yeah, we'll play a little tune. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll play the go-to theme for a little bit, so we have a pee break, because I got to pee. And I don't care about anybody else, but I got to pee.
Piss.
And then
Why don't you play Richard Cheese song?
Why don't you? No requests before the thing I have to do has to be done. I'll put that into the bag of tricks. I do have a song queued up, though. But the main song we should go to is the outro. Brother Bob, take us outro.
You guys made me fuck up. I'm sitting here.
And he was rocking, too. He was like literally rocking in his seat.
See, now I can't do it. Oh, yeah. Fuck. So much for that.
The Wicked Theory podcast is heard live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern until whenever. Just go to mixler.com/wicked-theory. Mixler is MIXLR. Sign up to join the chat. Then click the follow button to get reminders whenever the show goes live. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, wherever good podcasts are given away for free, and at wickedtheory.com. You can support the show at patreon.com/wickedtheory. There you can get the after show if you miss it live. God forbid. Plus other exclusive episodes. As always, send your emails to podcast@wickedtheory.com.